Alright, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and call this my launch trailer impressions. And yes, trailer was so good that I felt the need to actually make a video on it. But in all honesty, I guess I video edit a lot. With the YouTube videos, I always try to do something to it. And with that being said, I really love video editing. The only other thing that I feel like makes me happier is seeing other people video edit, and that really just translates into a lot of different things. I mean, it could be movies, it could be fucking game trailers, it could be people's YouTube videos. Like, honestly, if I really appreciate seeing other people's work and other people's style and like just approach on how they do certain things. So when I watched this trailer, I couldn't help but just look into it like that. And there are a lot of things in this trailer that I feel like are extremely powerful, and yeah, I guess I had to make a video on it. But for the most part, I'm gonna go ahead and get the second half of this trailer out of the way, which is basically the reveal of the new Metal Gear, and the fact that it's bipedal, and also the fact that it has like a whip that turns into a sword like almost instantly and creates like earth fucking spikes that come out of the ground and shit. That's really fucking cool, and I think it's gonna build a lot of hype surrounding that point. But for the most part, I really do want to talk about the musical half of this video, which is basically like the first 3 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and mix in some of my first impressions, only because I feel like that's where I kind of get some of my my thoughts from. But for the most part, the trailer starts off fairly soft. I was really digging the music. It was quality like it always is. I didn't know who the singer was, and it's not revealed until later on. And for the most part, I did notice that she was humming Quiet's theme, which I figured, okay, it was probably Quiet's theme song. It's totally not unnatural. A lot of characters get their own theme songs, and I really appreciate the fact that this trailer kind of goes over all of the Metal Gears that's happened before. I guess ironically, except for the Metal Gears, which is kind of funny. I guess all the Metal Gear Solids, yeah, because I think they are two different series. But anyways, it goes over Metal Gear Solid 1 all the way up to Peace Walker. And one scene in particular, which is this corridor scene, is what I really think makes this entire trailer like fucking amazing.
When all hope bleeds out, what remains is doubt. Should have left it all for you, for tomorrow. As your time draws near, will you live in fear? Could have left it all for you, but we let go.
So basically, it starts off with Naked Snake basically in his prime from Metal Gear Solid 3, and then it slowly transitions into Peace Walker and then Ground Zeroes, to Phantom Pain, and eventually even the thing that he opposed. I think that's, a metaphor for the fact that he turned into Skullface, basically, you know what I mean? And in this game, we're supposed to be against him, so it's kind of funny. It's like you turned into the villain, which is basically Big Boss's story. But one thing that I couldn't help but notice, and it's kind of there, I don't think I'm looking too deep into it, is the fact that once he starts hitting Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain level, you start getting emotions out of his face, and that's where I feel like, the Fox engine and like the mocap on the face and, the subtle acting is really going to make video games just start being fucking amazing, because that little subtlety in his facial expressions really just says whatever you want it to say. I can't sit here and analyze it and break it down, because shit, man, your answer is as good as mine. You know, I have my thoughts on what it says, but you know, that's just, you know, it's just my thoughts, I guess. But actually, if you got any thoughts, feel free to write them down. That'd be pretty fucking sweet to read over. But you combine that with the fact that the song is climaxing and everything is getting intense, and then I finally see who the song was performed by, and it was Stephanie Houston, and that shit was fucking poetic to me. Basically, if you guys don't know who Stephanie Houston is, Quiet is based off of her. Her entire appearance is based off of her from head to toe. She is the real life Quiet. And I'm assuming Quiet is mute, but at the same time, I don't think, you know, I'm not 100% sure on that, only because it is heard that she can hum to herself, which since I'm not too familiar with people who are mute, I don't know what they can and cannot do. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. But basically, Kojima, assuming that she is mute, Kojima got the real life Quiet to sing the song that in-game Quiet hums to herself, which is truly Quiet's theme because it's performed by Quiet. And like I said, I thought that was really fucking powerful. I've watched that corridor scene more times than I really care to admit. And everything in that scene, from the visuals to the climax of the song to the transitions, pretty much anything you can think of, was really, really well done. It fucking makes me wish and hope that I can get to a point like that. But anyways, I felt like talking about this trailer because even though all of his trailers have been amazing, and you know, especially if you haven't seen it in a long time, definitely look some of them up because they are just as powerful. But the reason I made a video for this one is because it's our last one. So leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, take care.